have like all these plugins like taken up really. Actually right here. Got plugged in.
That would be another option. Actually, there's hanging out there. You know, I appreciate it. I
don't need this light, so I can make it work.
Oh, thanks.
Charger?
I didn't know good. That's not good. Sweet. Alrighty guys, good morning. We're getting our matches started today.
That's why we take it.
Gonna be getting our matches kicked off here with James Blackburn versus Steve Flemming. Steve Flemming is a Lights Out Billiards sponsored player. You guys will see some of the awesome Lights Out gears. He's at the table to play. He has an awesome short sleeve blue button up with a custom embroidery all over the back of it right now. It's awesome. It was a good shot played by James there, with in the side pocket. Hope the commentary sounds okay so far. We have to talk a little bit quieter than we were originally yesterday, as it's not as lively in here at 10 o'clock in the morning as it is at 10 o'clock at night. As per usual, don't want to disturb the players. He used every bit of the pocket on that shot. Guys, let's go ahead and get this video shared. Let people know that we are back live. Yesterday we weren't sure exactly what time we'd be starting going live at. Good morning, sir. Yeah, I'll take those home. James is going to be off to a good start here. He's going to be getting out of this rack. Felipe, Dennis Merculio is not in this event, so I am not sure, buddy. Oh my goodness, commentators curse there. It makes every ball perv, except for the 9-ball. That is so unfortunate. It looked like he shot that with a lot of inside bottom. Tester shot there for Steve Flemming. It's a pretty long shot there. I'm just going to be pretty fortunate that that one came back to him. Guys, don't forget you can check out the bracket. The link to the bracket is actually in the description of the live feed. So if you want to see the full bracket, see exactly how many people showed up, I got an idea of how I want to edit that real quick. Shout out to our sponsors that you see flipping through the screen there. Once I'm done editing this, we'll get back to regular commentation here. I'm gonna put it on the main camera while I fix a couple things here.
Players, if you're looking for the game markers, look right above you on the rack. Oh, the line, I'm sorry.
Alrighty, we're back into the match here. Looks like Steve played a pretty good safety on James here. One ball frozen to the 6. He's looking to see if that 6 is dead set for the side pocket. Doesn't look like it is, but it is pretty close. It looks like it's aiming right for that right point on the left side pocket. But I guess we're about to find out, because it... like he's debating on spinning this ball. Yep. Do want to give a official good morning to everybody out there. Good morning to everybody who's tuning into the stream already. I honestly wasn't anticipating bringing you guys matches when we were closing down last night. The event actually ended up going on till the last match lasted till about 3 in the morning. Even though we cut the live stream off, there were still matches going on for a decent amount of time afterwards. They were just matches that either players weren't dressed for the occasion to be featured on the TV table, or there were matches that were just already in progress and it didn't make sense to move them in the middle of their match, make them change tables and stuff like that. That's what the majority of the matches were, honestly. But for everybody who is just tuning in, I am Josh Setterfield, helping out with the first annual U.S. Open 9-Ball Championship warm-up event. This event, I think, is a great idea. It is very well suited for the U.S. Open. I think that it is a great way to get players in town and let them not just, be in the area and get used to being here, but get some real table time in against some good competition. A few shots that maybe have been troubling them under pressure, things like that. I think the whole thing is perfect. That's a good jump by Steve there. He almost got safe behind the 9-ball. Looks like James is going to have an edge of this ball. He's just going to have to either hit it full enough to bring the cue ball below that top right corner pocket, or hit it thin enough to go above, which it's hard to tell exactly how much of this ball he can see at that angle. And I'm pretty much sitting, like when I look around the TV screen, I'm basically sitting directly at that, in the bottom right pocket. Like when I look over the top of my screen, I'm looking right down the right side row. So when it's an angle that's on the left side of the screen like that, it's just as tough for me to see as it is for you guys. We do have this camera angle for shots that go this direction though, to give us a better sense of what the opportunity on the table actually is here. A good combo by Steve there. Looks like that 6-ball had to think about falling down there. You see Steve multiple times checking to make sure he's not leaning into that 7-ball. It is US Open 9-ball foul rules. Any ball foul, whether it's your hand, your cue, or shirt, you touch any ball on the table, it's a foul.
Yeah.
That was a great shot by Steve there. Get back in line on this 9-ball. Wound up perfect on that ball. Bringing the score 1-1. Guys, don't forget some of the formatting for this event can be found in the video description. It is going to be alternate break, rack your own. As you can see by the placement of that AccuRack. Shout out to outsville.com providing that AccuRack for the US Open. We actually are using the exact AccuRacks that are going to be used at the US Open. Our tournament director had to go over to the Sheraton where they're setting up for the US Open and actually get the AccuRacks from them. That's kind of cool. Shout out to them. Cool stuff. But what I was saying, you can tell by the placement of that rack that the 9 is actually on the spot instead of the 1-ball being on the spot. Trying to simulate the US Open the best that we can here. The only thing that is drastically different is that it is alternating break because it is a race to 7 due to limited time available. During yesterday and today, we had to start the event just much later than anticipated, which forced races to 7 instead of winter break races to 11.
What's up?
we'll let him play on the back road. Not the front row.
Was a tough cut shot down the road there. Unfortunate for Steve that 2 ball rolled out from behind that 6 ball. Howie, good morning, and you were welcome for the stream, brother. Hopefully I get that morning voice to go away here pretty soon. Been up for a minute, just haven't been doing that much talking until right now. And Sam, I don't have any website links for that because that is all done by AccuStat Productions. They are the ones who run the pay-per-view for the US Open. I'm sure that there will be information listed on the AccuStat website. And there will most definitely be some information posted on the Q Masters Facebook page, as Barry Berman, the founder of Q Masters and the founder of the US Open. Q Masters puts on the US Open every year, so if you want to drop a follow on the Q Masters Facebook page, you'll be able to be kept up to date on any and all information that is US Open related. Gonna have a little bit of a stretch here on this shot. Don't think it's gonna be too much of a problem here. I just see him drawing this to the left side rail and then coming in between the 7 and the 8 there. It looks like he actually might have enough room to just go in front of the 8 ball. Well, I didn't think that he did, but because he chose that shot selection, I was assuming that he saw something I didn't. That was a great shot there. That was an excellent shot by James. With shape on the 8 ball here. Is the stream freezing? We're having like any weird audio echoes for anybody else out there? I have it pulled up on my phone and I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any freezes, glitches, or any issues with the audio. I have it pulled up on my phone. My phone's just running on my regular cell phone data. It's not even on Wi-Fi, so you might just have to refresh your browser, or if you're on mobile, it might just be struggling based on how solid of a connection you have at the moment. Awesome, guys. Thank you for those responses. Reassuring that everything's going good. Most of the time, I'd say 9 times out of 10 when the stream's lacking for somebody, it's something to do with the internet connection on their side. But man, you never know. I just always have to double check and make sure. James coming up dry on the break here. Looks like Steve is going to be able to see this one ball. There's a lot of traffic down table to work with here. Yeah, we plays this. Boy, that worked out pretty good. That was a great cue ball control there. Giving himself the best odds of success by controlling the cue and making sure that cue gets frozen to or stuck behind the 8. Now, regardless of if the 1 falls in front of all those balls or not, you're looking pretty good. He's going to be forced to shoot pretty tough Z shot here. We have the 3 and the 5 that are up there in the top left corner that I could possibly. Looks like the 5 ball would be the one that could be made by the one that makes good contact here. Sorry about that, guys. Had somebody from Keymasters coming to take care of me, see if I needed anything. Inside of my head went, "Coffee! Give me coffee!" That was a great shot of that shirt that I was talking about. That button-up shirt, man, both of his button-ups. The one he had on yesterday was just a regular polo, and that thing was awesome looking. You can see it there as he walks away. The back of that shirt is all custom embroidered. The shoulder patch, everything. All the white detailing in that shirt is custom, like, thick stitch embroidery. It's awesome stuff. If you've never checked out Lights Out Billiards Apparel, you definitely have to. I'd be saying that whether they were or weren't a sponsor on the stream, to be honest with you. I'm actually very excited to have them as a sponsor on the stream because that's something that I've been wanting to be able to have for the longest time, just because I really respect the product. I really respect the mission of what they're trying to accomplish. You know, they want Jake Lawson, who's the owner and CEO of Lights Out Billiards Apparel, had the opportunity of having a few conversations about it, and basically, in short, he was looking for some billiards apparel that was a little bit more upscale, a little bit more of a classy look and a classy vibe. That way, you know, as he's going out to tournaments and playing and stuff, he can wear something that just stood for something a little bit different than some of the other companies out there. And so he was struggling to find it, and so he just decided, hey, we'll create it. And so it's pretty cool. So Lights Out Billiards Apparel started by Jake Lawson solving one of his own problems. Pretty cool. But like just about every great company that exists, the truly great ones all start by solving a problem. Pretty good stuff. Meanwhile, we have James Blackburn in the middle of looking like trying to get his 3rd point on the board here. Looks like he's going to overroll this position just a little bit, but he should be okay. It's not too tough of a shot on the 9-ball here. Looks like they're going to pick this 9-ball up and move it off the rack. Oh, there we go. It's always hard to tell if it's actually like still on the rack or just chilling by it, so both players got to look at it just to make sure that they're in agreement of everything. Can be pretty critical if that ball moves just a little bit. And James puts that ball in with no problem. Taking a 2-rack lead over Steve, but Steve is breaking. See if he can make the most of it here. And that safe's going to turn out pretty good using the 4 as a blocker there. He got pretty fortunate on that 1 ball falling, depending on how you want to look at it. I was debating before he was getting up there to shoot as to whether or not I'd be trying to make that 1 ball or not, because it didn't seem like there was too much of a reward if you made it, unless you just fired the mess out of that ball and was able to get on the bottom side of that too. But so far, things aren't looking too bad. James coming to the table here with, looks like he's lining up a kick shot here. Oh, that is going to be a good return there. That was a good try by Steve there. Needed just a little bit more meat on that ball. 2 could have got scooted up underneath the 8, and then the cue ball would be a little bit more up table. That James has come back to that table with the 2 ball. Something that I noticed about James that's standing out to me is because it's something that I was recently working on in my game too. Is he's got like that very exaggerated like stay down follow through on his shots. The way I learned to overcome, jumping on my shots is doing exactly what he's doing. You just stay down until things stop moving, basically. It was a great shot there. He ended up getting a little bit tough on that ball, but it was actually perfect for him because he didn't have to do anything to get position, just make the ball. Yo, Ty, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the broadcast. Josh Setterfield on the mic here. John Lee, actually let me pull the bracket up on the other screen that I have here and see if I can exactly how many we got. We started this event with a full 64 bracket. without going through and meticulously counting the entire bracket, it's looking like there's between 20 to 28 players still alive here. You can actually access the full bracket if you want to see what path these players had to take to get to where they have gotten. It's in the video description. It should be the very first link in the video description. You know what I'll do is after this match here, I will actually make a pinned comment that has links to the Qmaster Facebook page and the bracket here. James is left with a pretty tough 9-ball shot here. And unfortunately, he missed that ball pretty bad. It was off by about a full diamond there. Let's see what Steve is feeling like here. Cut of the bank. And he drills the bank shot. Nicely done by Steve there. He needed that. Bringing the set within 1 here. Ty, will do, buddy. Appreciate you stopping by. Viewership's starting to climb a little bit, I anticipate. Having no problem getting up to somewhere around 1,000 active viewers. We had thousands and thousands and thousands of views yesterday, which is awesome. Ton of people stopping by the stream. Goal today is to reach 1,000 people watching at the same time, so that should be pretty fun. Won't be able to do it without your guys' help though, so if you're enjoying the broadcast, make sure you share it, tag all your pool buddies, anybody that might be interested. We do have a very good, strong field for the rest of the day here, so there's not going to be any matches that aren't going to be fun to watch. I'll just put it that way. Nick, yes, these brackets are updated, and they will continue to be updated in real time. As players finish their matches and they report to the tournament director what the scores were, the tournament director inputs the scores, it updates in real time. Excuse me, sorry guys. It updates in real time. So, you guys have access to the exact same bracket that we do. It's pretty cool. That's why I switched the tournaments over to being on challenge.com, honestly. Nick, yep, absolutely, buddy. Thanks for tuning into the broadcast. That was a good shot by Steve there. Get good on this 8-ball. Looks like this is the first real chance either player have had to get out of this rack since they went back and forth. 7-ball, he ends up getting perfect on this 9-ball. He's going to tie this race up 3-3. Steve to break. Guys, you are absolutely welcome for the broadcast. Appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Watching this while you do homework. Hey man, I'm glad we can make such a sometimes boring and monotonous task a little bit more fun. So Steve clipped that 5-ball on the way to the 2, so it's giving up ball in hand to James Blackburn. For anybody who is tuning in that did not watch yesterday, as we were going over the formatting for this event, it is any ball fouls. So you're going to see players do a lot of what James just did right there, being very cautious of what balls they're leaning over, as any touching of any ball is foul. Obviously, it's up to your opponent to make the call. Some people are going to be very touchy on that, and then other people will not mind it so much as long as it doesn't change the integrity of the game. This event has been awesome so far. Q Masters very generously added $2,000 to the pot, which is awesome. I mean, that comes directly basically out of Q Masters profits. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Pretty much everybody here has a good business sense that $2,000 getting added into the pot has to come out of somebody's wallet. So that is really, really cool. So huge shout out, to Gary and Brady and Shannon for putting on this event. It's been an awesome event. Huge honor to be here, broadcasting this, being able to watch these players play close up. Out of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, probably most likely thousands by now, of hours of pool videos, that I've watched just following the scene. It's just amazing to be able to see these players play up close with my own 2 eyes. It's completely different looking at it. Even just looking at it on my computer screen, it feels like I'm sitting at home watching a YouTube video, really. Meanwhile, while I'm yabbering, James takes a 1-rack lead over Steve. And it is alternating break in a race to 7, which means 1-rack lead a lot of the times can be the only thing you have to have. It's not like you're going to be seeing these players, put a 3, 4, 5 pack on somebody because it is alternating break. So although there has been a lot of matches where there is a break and run, the next break comes up dry, and then the same player runs out. So it's kind of like putting a pack on somebody. I'll try to find out soon who's going to be up next featured on the table. Kind of just depends on what time matches are getting completed. I know yesterday when we were looking at the bracket trying to kind of predict how it would unfold, we had an idea of who we wanted to be up on the table, so it kind of just depends on who wins what matches and the timing of it. More importantly is going to be the timing, because obviously we want to have as little downtime in between matches as possible. Didn't quite get there. He was trying to get behind the 8 ball. It seemed like he needed just a little bit more oomph on that on the cue ball. Hit the one just a little bit thinner so that the cue has a little bit more room to come around the other side of the 8 ball there. Still a tough shot here if he elects to take this in the side pocket, but there is the reward of the 2 being easy. All he has to do is pot this ball, and then the 2, 3, 4, or 5 really are going to be pretty easy to knock out. So probably what I imagine he was thinking about while he was standing there before he took the shot. He elected to play safe there, which I don't blame him, because that would have been a very tough shot in the side pocket there. Looking at this angle, you know what, I'm actually going to play with this camera just a little bit while we are on it, because it was kind of bugging me yesterday. That was a great shot by Steve there. Man, it didn't even look like he took that much time on that ball. He just felt confident with that angle there. That was a great shot. Got a little funny on this 3 ball here. Hey Jake, what's up, buddy? Good morning. Jake, I was going on yesterday about excuse me, sorry guys, still working out some of those that morning voice going on. I was going on about the black and yellow polo that Steve Flemming was wearing yesterday. I'm sure you know which one I'm talking about, but that polo is bad, brother, and I want one. Obviously I don't want mine to say Steve Flemming on it. But that two-tone with the fabric piecing on the sides, that was a bad shirt. I'm not sure what colors I would want. Probably black and blue, because that's just how I roll, but it was a good shot by James there. Had a pretty big window to aim for here with the 6 and 9 and the 8. As you can see, he's kind of peeking down, trying to see which all avenues he has here. Looks like he's going to try to, I was going to say mass A that ball around the 8. It was a great shot there. I was curious if he was going to take that or if he was going to try to play safe again. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell. It's easy to tell if the ball is makeable most of the time from, this angle and looking at it through the camera. But you can't really get that feel. Like when you walk up to there's just certain bank shots that just feel really awkward, even though the ball is possible to go in. There's that very long follow-through stay down that I was referring to earlier. I like seeing that. It's awesome. Good morning, Marty. Welcome to the broadcast, buddy. And goes for you, Mike Curley. What's up, brother? Nicely done. Saw him reset 2 or 3 times there, just making sure he's comfortable on the shot.
John Mora, Phyllis Sarah, Steve number 2. John Mora, Phyllis Sarah.
Looks like he's got a good angle to draw or follow here, kind of depending on which one he's feeling. I'm just going to elect to take the longer shot here. Hey, do you know who we're going to be able to have up next? Oh, perfect. Yeah. James is going to get that 9 ball. I just realized when we switch over to the side camera angle that the audio for the room goes away, so I need to fix that real fast. There we go. A little workaround we got going on there. I did just catch word on who is going to be up next on the TV table, so let me go ahead and get that information for you guys.
Number 20, Alex Kazakis, Mark Gable. Number 20, Alex Kazakis, Mark Gable. Number 23, David Armanides, Monty Alpino, David Armanides, Monty Alpino.
Alright guys, there you have it. Up next on the TV table is going to be Eric Moore versus Clint Casey. Eric Moore is local legend here. Wins a lot of the local 757 tour events. This will actually be the first time I've seen Eric Moore shoot at a 9-footer, so that'll be pretty cool. Play on bar boxes many times. And he's a dominating force on bar boxes. You don't see that man miss very often. guys, I know it's early and we're just getting things kicking off here, but let's see how many people we can get in here. We gotta get this this live feed shared a couple different places. I know there's a ton of pool groups on Facebook, so if you like the live stream and you want to support it, the biggest compliment you can give me is to share this video and tag any pool friends you got. Let's get as many eyeballs on the stream as we possibly can. James was grabbing his extension out of his case there. It's got about a foot extension that you can see on the bottom of his cue there. I think he's calling Mike over here to watch the shot, make sure he doesn't graze the four. Good thing there's no balls on the rail up there close to him. We had Cheryl, the referee, come over here and watch that shot. You can tell by the direction of the four ball that it was a clean hit. If he was to hit the four ball first, it would be closer to the pocket. Here we go, guys. We're starting to see viewership pick up a little bit. Thanks to anybody who is liking and sharing the live feed here on Facebook. Super convenient that we're able to do this on Facebook now instead of having to use a third-party streaming platform. There's still a lot of cool features that other streaming platforms has that Facebook hasn't caught up to yet, but I just believe that a huge, like the mass majority of the target audience for this is going to be more familiar with Facebook and a little bit more equipped to be able to tune into the stream with it being just directly hosted on Facebook. So yeah, I'm checking out what angle he wants to have on the 5 to be able to go down table for the 6 there, or just at least play through the window of the 7 and the 9. And he's going to be perfect on this 5 ball here. He's got a great angle to just play through this window and then play a 2-rail position on the 6 ball here. Some people like to load this shot with inside English and stay in between it. I like playing around the outside of these balls. Marty, I'm not 100% sure what you're asking in that comment. Are you asking is there a transportation to the hotel from the airport? I know right now there's an awesome deal that they have going on. You can find some more information about it on the Q-Masters Facebook page. But if you are going to be in town for the US Open, there is a limo service that is taking people to and from Q-Masters in the Sheraton. It's basically just going to be taxiing back and forth. It's only $7 for a one-way trip from Q-Masters to the Sheraton, or from the Sheraton to Q-Masters. And from my understanding, it will be going to the Sheraton every hour on the hour, and every half hour in between those, it'll be coming back to Q-Masters. So basically, every 30 minutes, it'll leave from the Sheraton to Q's and then back to the Sheraton. And what's really cool about it is, with it being a limo, you never know who's going to be in there taking that ride with you. So you might be able to catch a ride with one of your pool heroes. I mean, how cool would that be? Spend $7 and ride to the Sheraton with some of these world-class pool players, and that would be awesome. So that is going on from the airport to the Sheraton. That I don't know off the top of my head. I was told that the Sheraton's only about 10 minutes away from Q-Masters, though. pretty funny on this 8 ball here. Let's see how he decides to play it. It looks like he was just double checking his tangent line to see exactly where this cue ball is gonna go. It looked like he might be trying to play behind the 9 here. Pretty tough shot. I'm glad he has to figure it out, not me. Obviously, he'd like to be a little bit more on top of this 1 ball. He's about a diamond further to the left than what he was really looking for. He's going to be able to get that ball right in and come back down for the 9. This is a good shot on the 8 ball to give himself an easy shot on the 9. And bring it within 1, which is what he needed to do here. Alternating break format, I'm sure you guys know this, but it is crucial that you are winning the games that are on your break. You cannot give up your serve and not put a point on the board. It is extremely difficult to come back in these races when it's alternate break format. If you are breaking and not getting the point, whether you run out or, you know, the game has to go through a few innings for you to be able to get that 9 ball. It's just crucial that you're putting down 9 balls on your break. Joel, yeah, James definitely would have liked to have left him down here on the short rail. Wing ball and the 1 ball. Directly into the pockets. Don't even graze the edges. It was a good break there. He's got a shot on the 2. Looks like if he follows this 2 ball, he can go in between the 8 and the 4 here. Come 2 rails and out for the 3. See him taking that AccuRack off the table. Guys, if you've never used an AccuRack, if you're used to the Magic Racks, I definitely recommend looking up outsville.com. outsville.com. It's AccuRack. It's same concept as the Magic Rack, but instead of it being plastic, it's a little bit more of like a fabric, like a cloth material, so it doesn't hold creases as easily, which is really, really cool. See that player walking by the pool table. James just gonna take a second, look around, double check it. Not sure if that's if that actually was a distraction for him or if he was just wanting to be sure. A great shot there. Just stun that ball over to the rail. It was perfect. Yeah, Joel, you were absolutely right. And that was a pretty huge feat yesterday. It was awesome. Alex, yes, there sure is, buddy. It is the first annual U.S. Open 9-Ball Championships warm-up event. So we are on the 42nd U.S. Open this year, and this is the first annual warm-up event This event turned out amazing. It's 64 players. We have a full field. $2,000 added by Keymaster Billiards, which is phenomenal. I mean, that's just awesome. And there's already talks of this event being bigger next year, bigger in the sense of possibly doubling the field size. Because there was a waiting list, and there was a lot of players who were pretty anxious, just waiting before the event starts and constantly checking in. Is there any spots that have opened up? Is there anybody that can't play? And fortunately for this event, because there's the straight pull event happening in Richmond, there was quite a few people who had pre-registered for this event to lock in their spot, and then actually were playing well in the straight pull tournament, so they weren't leaving that tournament to come here and then hopefully do good. So they stayed and kept competing in the straight pull event, so that opened up a handful of spots for this event. But I'd say probably about a dozen. I don't have the exact numbers because I'm not actually helping run the event. I'm just running the live stream for it. Alex, yeah, a lot of the format details of this event can be found. You can either look in the event section on the Q-Masters Facebook page, or I actually have copied most of the format details into the description of the live stream. So if you're not watching the live stream from the Q-Masters page, if it's a post of a friend who shared it or whatever the case may be, if you come to the direct feed, you can always view the video description. But some of the basic details are going to be that it's alternate break, rack your own, race to 7. And the braking is really the only thing that's different than the U.S. Open. The brake box is a little bit bigger in this event, just for the simplicity of, being able to ref it and keep everything in line. Because obviously we don't have the same, staffing and manpower as the actual U.S. Open will have. And the fact that it's alternate break is really the only two key differences. Everything else is the same U.S. Open rules. Every ball foul. That was a good 9 ball to give James another point on the board, and he is on the hill, guys. For anybody who is just tuning in, James Blackburn actually defeated Shane Van Boning in the losers bracket yesterday. He had a pretty strong win yesterday. He's looking to carry that momentum into today, and so far things are looking pretty good on the hill. By 2 racks. An alternating brake format. Obviously you cannot let off the gas pedal here, but it is definitely comforting to be sitting in James' position over Steve's at the moment. But Steve is definitely a player that you cannot count out. Steve is definitely capable of putting some stuff together here. I mean, all it takes is one good safe to change the momentum of a match, really. Alex, the actual Open is going to be starting tomorrow, brother. They're having the players meeting tonight, so there will be a brief delay in the stream tonight while there's the mandatory players meeting. But yeah, gameplay is going to start tomorrow. Hey guys, U.S. Open is going to be pretty cool. Obviously, it's going to be pretty cool. A $200,000 pot, $40,000 going to the champion. It's the most prestigious event. That is a title that I think anybody who ever wields a cue and knows that 9-ball exists would be excited to have. That's an understatement. Would strive to get to, I think is probably a little bit more accurate there. See him waving his fingers as he didn't want to overroll this position here. I think he turned out okay here. Should be able to draw this ball back a little bit. That or follow it up. Depends on which one he's a little bit more comfortable with. And Marty, I completely agree with you, brother. He didn't get that cue ball back as far as he wanted, but I think he'll be okay here. Him taking an extra second. Got down on the shot. Something that might be pretty obvious to a lot of veteran players, but you're somebody who is, just now starting to get into the pool and taking it a little bit more serious, man. If you feel any funny feelings while you're down there on the shot, just stand up and reset, man. Most of the time that I have to reset, it is not like an external distraction, like somebody walking by the table, or a cell phone or something like that, is because I skipped something in my pre-shot routine. So stand up, bang out your pre-shot routine again, and most of the time feeling pretty good. Got kind of fortunate on this 4-ball here. See how Steve elects to play it. I mean, that 4-ball is cuttable because it's far enough off the rail, but it is a stretch to lean over the table and have to take that shot. But I see him going for this. I mean, you're down, and if you make it, you're getting shape on the 5. It was tough roll for Steve there. James missed the ball and lost the cue ball there, and wound up leaving Steve pretty tough. So, Marty, did I mention a secured balcony? Hello. Marty is definitely pretty excited. Marty, that's really cool of you to offer something like that. I don't know if you guys are seeing that in the comments there, but he says that he's got a room with 2 beds, so if you're needing a room, hit him up. Just to let you guys know, Keymasters actually did partner with the Holiday Inn because the Sheraton's rooms are sold out. I know a lot of players were concerned about being able to find another quality hotel or something that's close by to eliminate some travel fees. Holiday Inn is actually pretty close by. It's only about 10 minutes away from the venue, and they have rooms. They partner with Keymasters starting at 109. So if you're thinking about coming out here, I already mentioned the limo service to you guys. I would definitely be taking advantage of that. $7 to ride a limo, and possibly with anybody from the U.S. Open. I mean, that's really cool. I just keep envisioning opening the door and just sitting next to world-class players, dude. You don't know who's gonna be in there. It's really cool. As we're getting pretty close to, we're about 25 viewers away from peaking over 100. Let's see if we can get to 100, 200 before lunch here. It's 11:20 in the morning here, good old Virginia Beach, Virginia. Something that I don't feel like really gets talked about too much is the ability for these players to get up early and play a good game, bring a good game to the table this early in the morning. That is something that is easy to not really put any thought into unless you've been in events and competed and had to try to bring your game first thing in the morning. See, James is on the hill going down on this 9-ball here. Looks like he saw a little something on the table there. Like I said, guys, if anything catches your eye, if there's any distraction, it's most of the time it's better to just stand up and wipe the table off and stay composed than it is to try to just force overcoming that distraction there. And he puts that 9-ball down, taking a 7-4 win over Steve Flemming. Good job, James.